B schools prepare you for war because the world is cruel outside. And as soon as you enter into the corporate, you are no longer a student. There is no mercy that will be shown to you at all. Right from metros to tier 2 and then to the deep pockets of India, mobile technology has not been established very well completely within the country. So introduction of CPD is a far away process at the moment. The moment you enter into the corporates, you are no longer a Jaipuria kid or a IIM Ahmedabad kid or some XYZ college kid. Your performance, your stakeholder management, the way you interact, the way you are thinking of organization from a business acumen is what will come into the picture.
Okay, Karan Suri here graduated in 2018 and he currently works as an associate director at Standard Charter. He'll share his experience moving out from the B school, what are journeys that you encounter, what are challenges do you face, and we'll see how to navigate it the best way from him. So Karan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Karan Suri. I've graduated from ARSG College, Delhi University in Electronic Honors. Post that I completed my MBA from Jaipuria Institute of Management, Noida, batch of 2016-18. Got a campus placement in Philips Lighting, the world's best known brand for lighting. Gave me an exposure wherein, how generally, teams at all these top organizations work. What is the mindset that people hold there for making their brand, their product as the number one brand globally, not just in India. Lighting being a fierce, product in the market with Chinese players coming in, every market has their own players, national and international players. What kind of a mindset a product manager there or probably, a marketing guy there, sales guys, sales teams that work hard, just to make the sales efforts done beautifully, making the teams number one. What is it that they were doing there? I learned that from the campus placement that I had from Jaipuria. From there, I moved to National Payments Corporation of India, wherein I was again a part of the sales team and a product strategy team, wherein all of you must be using UPI as a product, which is the product of National Payments Corporation of India. RuPay, which is an ingrown brand for your card transactions, in competition to Mastercard, Visa, American Express, is a product of NPCI. So I've worked there and I've understood the teams, and the mindset of the people. From there, then I moved to Standard Chartered. It's the current organization that I'm working for. I manage digital payments as product head, plus the credit cards business. There's a journey known as early account management, for which we analyze the portfolio of the customers who have taken a credit card for the first 6 months, learning and just grasping what is the mindset of the customer when they take a credit card, how do they use it, what are the different merchant categories where the customer use. So all of this data-driven business insights that we get from the credit card customers is what I manage as on today.
Your role seems like a lot closer to technology than other roles that we had interviewed right now. And since you had passed on in 2018, what are some of the things that you did in your B school which kind of gave you that understanding of technology that you are not exactly using right now, but you obviously learned and grew along the way. But what were some of the practices or some assignments or things that you were put through so that you can do a better job later?
Yeah, so all these B schools, what I've learned in Jaipuria is that B schools will prepare you for a career that is coming your way, after almost 2 years, which is going to be challenging. See, guys, my personal advice to all of you is that all of you are graduates now. So your graduation part is over. All that musty fun that you have done with your friends is over. Now B schools will prepare you for a time that is going to come along your way when you will find people competing with you, your peers competing with you, people from other B schools coming in and competing with you. So I guess in Jaipuria, the curriculum is set in a way that from the basics to the advanced level, you're given the knowledge, you're given the classroom preparations. There are guest speakers who come in and tell you how are the processes going around in the market today. Technology is coming in, coming out. There are technologies that have become obsolete at the moment. None of you would be using debit cards now. Debit cards used to be it used to be a thing back in 2015-16. Once UPI has been launched, debit card has become obsolete. So how you are, comparing yourself with the technology that is coming in? Dr. Ray spoke about AI coming into the picture and curriculum. That will give you, boost to, compete in the market. Not literally, but B schools prepare you for a war because the world is cruel outside. And as soon as you enter into the corporate, you are no longer a student. There is no mercy that will be shown to you at all. I mean, there is no way I'm just making you afraid of getting into corporates. But this is how the world is. You're out there to perform. You're out there to make your earnings, your livings, and of course, you're out there to step up the corporate ladders and be a leader tomorrow. From the classrooms, what I understand and what I clearly remember now is that during the first trimesters, there is one subject, organizational behavior. We always thought that in a B school, finance and all these subjects are something of great importance. They are, but organizational behavior is something that you know we should actually keep. I mean, take it very seriously and put very all my attention to it. Conflict management within the teams, conflict management within the organization is something that you all should learn. Um, you know, Working along with the team, you're not an individual. There is a collaboration that is to be done. From the point of view that even if you are into the sales, the collaboration has to be done with your internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, managing every piece of it. You are required to achieve targets. The targets will not be achieved individually. So things that they have made us learn is something that I'm still working on, still using it, and this helps me grow in the career in the corporate ladder.
Right. Speaking of growing in the corporate ladder, do you feel that if you are from a lesser known B school, your promotion gets hampered a little compared to other people who are probably considered for a similar role but are from better B schools? What are your thoughts on this? Because we don't get concrete answers to questions like this. But have you experienced something like this personally?
No, no, nothing of this sort personally, because I have been promoted almost last year to associate director, which is a band 6. It's a great brand. Uh, See, like I said, the moment you enter into the corporates, you are no longer a Jaipuria kid or a IIM Ahmedabad kid or some extra XYZ college kid. Your performance, your stakeholder management, the way you interact, the way you are thinking of organization from a business acumen is what will come into the picture when it comes to promotions, when it comes to give you any opportunity to be a leader, to lead a team. Of course, it is going to be a very small team at the start. You are not required to be the product head at the very start of your career. But when it comes to promotions, when it comes to your career enhancement, your individual perspective, the way you have performed, is what comes as part of the pitch.
Okay, if you had to now, since I'm making you reflect on a B school days, if you have to reflect a little harder and probably think of things that you could have done a little better, do you have any anecdotes to share for so that when they get into the B school, they don't make probably similar mistakes?
Coming from an engineering or a technical background, I was never very keen to understand the finance part of the B schools. I still remember day one of my class in finance. The faculty member opened up a P&L sheet or a balance sheet of an organization, and I was completely blank. I was completely blank because I never studied it. But the faculty member made it very clear to the students out there, people who do not understand it, I'll make you understand here. And after that, there are separate classes for us, especially for the technical people who do not understand a piece of it. So we went there, we understood the P&L statements, the balance statements, how to read a annual report, what are the things that we should look at, if I have to look at the profitability of an organization. From the business acumen side, these are the understandings given very well back then. Still, I was more of a person who always thought, sales is something that I am meant to do.
Okay.
I never thought that my trajectory would lead me from sales to product management, from product management to XYZ things, in the near future. And when I come to product management is just not introducing a new product or, managing the product at a growth level or a maturity level. From the point of being a product manager, you also understand the cost associated to it. How much is the profit that the organization is earning? What are the things that I am looking at in terms of making my P&L green or profitable? So these are the things that I think I should have learned much better at the B school. With the interest that I had never shown it to. People should understand how business or the annual report looks like, the P&L statements. These are the things that you're going to manage not at the very early start of your career, maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. When you lead a team, when you lead a segment. So even if you're in sales, you become a zonal sales manager or a area sales manager or regional sales manager, you should be able to understand the numbers. Numbers is something that, is a spoken language in corporates. You don't say good morning, hi, hello, hello. It's all about numbers. Your manager will come to your desk and ask you, what is the profitability number of the product that you're managing? How is the P&L looking like? What is the forecasting for 2025? And the forecasting for 2025, we had done back in September 2024. So this is the kind of thing that, you should learn. You should always give attention to. Attention to detail is something that I would always ask you to do.
Are you working with more products which are related to AI and finance? Can you talk about that here a little?
Yeah, so my product, the product that I manage is across digital payments. Digital payments today has become a vital part of, all of our journey. With AI coming into the picture, we have a team of fraud risk management. There's a team that manages and understands how a person is spending across. AI tools have given us the insights that we were looking for. I mean, of course, there is plethora of data that we get every day, considering the kind of transactions that are happening in the country. The UPI numbers. The UPI numbers have crossed 1 billion in a month. So that numbers, the kind of data that we are getting every day, the AI models have given us a complete picture of how the trajectory is moving up and down. I'll give you an example from the organization. The AI model has helped us, in preventing unusual transactions. And when I say unusual transactions, it means that, if a customer has a credit card in the pocket and he has never used a credit card above 50,000, let's say. And someday I find, or my AI model find, that this person has spent almost 1,50,000 in single transaction. That's an unusual transaction for me. Knowing the behavior of the customer. And this is how, AI has developed. A automatic call from my dialer will get to that customer, and this customer has to confirm that if he has made this transaction of 1,50,000. So this is a kind of confirmation that we all generally take. This is the best practice in the market. Apart from that, in digital payments, there are a lot of frauds that are happening. AI helps us, in getting the prevention of frauds, likeliness of fraud happening, transfer of QRs from one place to another. These are the kind of paths that we identify using the AI model.
Since I'm making you reflect back on your MBA days again, what are some of your best memories at Jaipuria?
So Annual Fest is something that we have thoroughly enjoyed, and I guess Annual Fest in Jaipuria is also one sort of a business program only. I'll tell you how. I was the president of the Annual Fest, which was known as Gravity earlier. I'm not too sure if it is still Gravity or not. Annual Fest, the committee has asked us to get us sponsors. Now, how do we get sponsors? We prepared a team of 5 who go out to the market, speak to the organizations who are willing to sponsor. Kind of a business project. We tell them what is the kind of a walk-in we are expecting for a 2-day program. Who is the person who is coming for a performance? How can they earn money by spending 50,000, 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh as per the tier? The kind of sponsorship that we used to get it was more of an experience for us. We were selling something out. Here, in this entire program, there was no physical product. It was more of an experience and an event that was getting sold out to the organization to, probably give us money, and, we can go and invest in our programs. Annual Fest is one of the things that, I have thoroughly enjoyed both the years. There were some events that, there is a students committee that keeps on, preparing for, and, they kind of make it very lively in the campus, especially for people who are not day scholars, who are the hostelers there. The campus is very lively. There are Lodi celebrations, Diwali celebration, movie nights, across the campus, coffee with alumni. So kind of interactions that happen there is something that I fondly remember.
One last question before I open the floor for questions for audience. Since we are speaking about alumni, and you yourself are an alumni of Jaipuria, when it comes to placements, are you allowed to reach out to potential alumni from the company that you want to probably go? And do you have a platform or infrastructure where you can directly interact with them so that you can get mentored by them firsthand?
See, the platform is there. There's a team of highly skilled faculty members, and there is a team that manages the placements at Jaipuria, Pan Jaipuria. Jimna is, I guess, one of the portals, Jaipuria Institute of Management Alumni Association portal, from where students are allowed to connect with the alumni. Moreover, I guess what I've seen, during my batch and after the batches that I have, spoken to people who I have spoken to, people are very rigid in terms of getting placed. They have a preconceived notion of getting into marketing. Marketing is something that probably you won't get it directly. No organization can give you a direct access to marketing teams unless you understand the product, the business, how the organization runs. So this is how the alumni association helps you in clearing your rigidness or probably your thoughts amongst the placement times. People are very free to reach out to any alumni. If they can get a PPO kind of a thing, or probably if they can ask for the offers from the alumni and alumni extends it to them, I guess it is up to the student if they want to join that, or probably if they want to sit in the organizations, sorry, the campus placements routines.
Speaking of reaching out to anybody, let's student reach out to you. We'll keep it a longer Q&A. I want as many questions as to be answered as possible. Any question regarding finance as a career?
My name is Akshay. My question is not about career, but about a recent change in the payment system. Like RBI has started CBDC. So, what do you think is it is the real need of the time, or it is just for the sake to be in the blockchain and cryptocurrency race?
Yes, CBDC is something that has new come up, in the recent years. Even before CBDC was introduced, we had already India as a country has already introduced digital payments, which is very strong across the globe. People from outside India, I mean Mauritius, Nepal, or probably other countries like Singapore, they are adapting UPI as a product. CBDC has something which has come up, from the perspective of getting more engaged in the digital payments. Regular currency that you use today can be replaced, not fully, but yeah, to some extent it can be replaced from the CBDC thing. Again, perspective of fraud, money laundering and other terrorist sponsored activities that are happening. So blockchain is something new that is coming up everywhere. Talking about cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other products, CBDC has been introduced on a similar platform. So once it is established, completely, probably the next step from the RBI side would be to introduce it as a mass currency in India. And again, considering the kind of country we live in, right from metros to tier 2 and then to the deep pockets of India, mobile technology has not been established very well completely within the country. So introduction of CPD is a far away process at the moment, but yeah, still in process.
So my question is, what are the some certification course in finance that one can complete that can help in interview during placement?
Once you enroll into MBA, the basic finance, and it is up to you. If you want to choose your career in finance, go for a specialization in finance. Why do you need to spend extra money into a certification? You already have a course designed in the B school for complete finance knowledge. So you do that first. Post that, once you get into the organizations as a placement, you understand, where your trajectory goes to. What kind of a, career division or a prospect that you look at from a 5 years perspective. Like somebody in the audience asked about hedge funding and getting into investment banking. So if that guy is very clear getting into investment banking, he'll complete his MBA first, probably get into an organization which leads to this, if not directly, which leads to this. And there, then he can probably think of getting into certifications which will give him extra skills or probably more knowledge in terms of investment banking, hedge fund, all that things. So no specific course that I would recommend at the moment unless you complete your MBA, because MBA is something that you give you entire knowledge of getting into an organization from a finance perspective.
Like in India, we don't have more options. Like if we want to specialize in some specific sector like quant finance, if we want to specialize in that, we don't have colleges for that. So what do you think? It is better to take some experience and after that pursue masters from abroad, or continue with the MBA before having experience?
So what have you done in your graduation?
I am pursuing Bachelor of Management Studies.
BMS.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to get into an organization after completing your graduation, what are the kind of sectors you're looking at?
I am not currently sure. Like I am interested in quant finance or portfolio management. So I am little bit confused.
No, so your understanding is okay, but you also have to understand what are organizations looking for today. As an organization, if I have to, hire somebody from a batch, what am I looking for? I'm going to give you, like, let's say XYZ of LPA package, whatever it is. I need some people who have better understanding, more business acumen, more from, and to probably think of it, I will say I'll not take any graduates at the moment. I'll take an MBA, which becomes my basic criteria to fulfill into getting into an organization. Now if you talk about that, or that you want to pursue a career in XYZ sector which is missing in India, I would say you do a research, you find out where it is. Probably if not in India, if you think that these kind of colleges are more in Germany, then probably prepare yourself in a way that you are probably taken and hired in those colleges. What needs to be done for that? Of course, there is a lot of material available on Google and internet. If you require any kind of guidance, you have your mentors available everywhere. Probably you speak to the people who are pursuing that course in that same college. You speak to the persons who are already placed in some organization. By doing that particular course, you get knowledge, and you probably think of a path which can lead to that college. I mean, if it is not in India, probably a new course introduction is purely a management call in the B schools. So wherever it is available, probably you can think of doing it from that country.
Okay, Karan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, everyone.